What's going on, guys? Martyn here. I'm gonna show you some shit you never did before. I guarantee you've never done it before. I promise, actually. I know for a fact you've never done it before. Because I've also done it very rarely. But it's something that's gonna help really benefit you guys in your shoulders, your shoulder health, like if you've been having shoulder pain, because I've been dealing with a lot of like pain throughout my, not my shoulder, but stemming from my shoulder, ending up in my elbow. You know, you guys probably relate to like tennis elbow or like a radiating pain through here. A lot of times the stuff comes from the joints above it, right? So the thing that I've been doing, warming up, obviously, besides just the stretching, right, that I've showed you guys in the past, I've been warming up more actively my shoulders to help engage the proprioceptive skills, like to basically get my body better at balancing the weight. Instead of just like working on the flexibility, which is important, because a lot of times if you don't have the right flexibility, you're gonna get pain. You can get pain, right? You can get the pain distally. So on top of that, something I've been working on is getting better stability, like getting the muscles in my shoulder, my rotator cuff, the little tiny muscles, little intricate muscles like back here, more engaged, so that when I'm pressing, I'll feel stronger, I'll be better throughout that range of motion, like I'm pressing the chest or the shoulders, anything, right? Kettlebells is something that, like, obviously you guys have probably seen in the gym. They might just be like big paperweights to most of you guys, but actually are really really beneficial at engaging all those muscles differently. So I'm gonna show you guys something. Typically I can press, you know, like 120, 130, like no problem. Sitting down like dumbbells, you know, like back supported, right, on the military press, okay? Now, this is literally 35 pounds, okay? But the way I'm gonna press is like, you guys think, oh, 35-pound press, shoulder press, no problem. So like I can grab dumbbells right now, no problem. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to engage, like I said, muscles that you're not used to engaging. So you're gonna hold this a little bit differently. I'm not gonna have you guys, you may see people do this, press it here. Right, that's gonna be really easy, okay? What I'm gonna show you is what's the reason why this is gonna engage those small little muscles, right? Because you have to balance the weight as you press the weight. So you have to do the whole movement like you're forced to do it in control. If you don't have control, it's gonna fall, you're not gonna be able to press. If I don't have enough stability in my hands, in my wrists, in my shoulders, as I press, right, the weight's gonna wanna go like this. Okay, so you'll notice, again, this is 35 pounds, like, you could probably press 80, 100 pounds, whatever, 60 pounds, 50 pounds. You're gonna have to go really light. Once you go like this, if you're not pressing that like directly over the muscle, like if you're not like stabilizing the thing the whole time, it's gonna go like this, and you're not gonna be able to press at all. Again, here you're holding straight up. Pressing straight over there. All right. Now, the key is this. When you guys are doing this, there's two ways you can do it. You can do it where you hold directly in the middle, like this. That's gonna be the hardest way, right? If you're just getting into this, I'd recommend trying this. Hold it like this. Can you see it here? So if you hold it here, this is gonna be the hardest position to be here and pressing it. Imagine leveled, you wanna press it straight up. And I'm telling you, all those little muscles, like right now, like I just pressed that, it's like, I feel it. I feel that pump in probably areas I never felt before. I know I do. And you'll probably feel the same thing as what I'm saying. Like, you'll press this 5 or 6 times and be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna really feel something different if you have never done this in your shoulders, I promise. And then you're gonna be hooked on it. So, if you guys wanna change the grip a little bit, like, if you're your first time doing it, again, this is the hardest position to be in. Here. Easier is here. Like this, right? When you're here, it's a little easier to hold, a little easier to balance like this, because you're able to get your thumb and the base more around it, right? So you press from here, this is gonna be much easier, right? So if you wanna start there, that's fine, and then eventually move to here, okay? So that's a warm up for the shoulders. Something like, dude, I'm telling you, like I have like a nasty pump right now. Like I need to balance it now.
Can you, I know you said that's a warm up, but can you use that as like a full-on exercise?
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely use this for, like, you could definitely use this for full sets. Like if you want to do sets of 10, 10, sets of 8, whatever. I have been using it specifically because I have no problem like getting weight, moving weight around, like pressing, but I've had a lot of like shoulder issues, I've had a lot of like neck issues, I've had a lot of like the radiating pain, the pain coming down around the elbow. So I've been doing a lot of like, basically this is another form of prehab rehab work, which is like I'm trying to say I've been doing a lot of, because I had to learn, right, for the first time in my life basically. I remember I was pressing once, messing around with some friends, and like I'm messing around like little things, didn't do anything, and I'm messing around like wrestling stuff, and next thing I know, like I have this crazy pain, but like to the point where I felt like I couldn't go like this. If I wanted to hit that, I'd be like this. And this would hurt, like the pain here, like I couldn't, was so like, it was like debilitating, right? And I'd never experienced that in my life. So right away I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Like I couldn't lift, I couldn't press, I couldn't do curls, I couldn't do shoulder press, I couldn't even squat, because being in this position with the barbell on, so I couldn't do anything, right? So right away I was like, whoa, this is terrible. My life is the gym, right? My career is the gym. Everything I love is the gym. I can't not do it, right? I love this. So right away I spent a lot of time, I was like, okay, what can I do to fix this? What is going on? What's happening? So I learned a lot, obviously, about like the inflammation. I've learned a lot about different movements that are going to help engage certain muscles that like I probably wasn't doing as good as I should have been. I learned a lot about the balance. I learned a lot about stretching. Obviously, it's something that I neglected. A lot of us neglected. And that's the one thing I've noticed, the sauna, which I'm going to show you guys in a later video. I've been doing a lot of the sauna stuff and a lot of the stretching. So really, really hot to relax. And while I'm in the sauna stretching, like you don't need a sauna. If you don't have a sauna, what I'm saying is this: do not underestimate stretching. Because I'm telling you, for my years and years of training, never once dealt with this. Never once had this problem. One day it was just like, I was like, whoa, what is going on? Like my whole life was like flash before my eyes almost, where I'm like, I can't do shit. I couldn't lift my fucking arms from like here to here without the pain just radiating. And even when I stopped, it was still radiating. So if you guys can relate to that, if you have certain pains like that, it's not always about like the area that it hurts. There's surrounding muscles that need to be more active when you work out. There's ways you need to warm up more efficiently to engage those muscles, right? There's stretches you need to do to be more loose, to be more fluid, so your body doesn't, it's not tight, so that when you try and do something, you create pain. There's too much inflammation sometimes built up because your diet, or you're not drinking enough water, or you're not eating the right things, right? So there's a lot of levels to this, and so I spent a lot of time, because I was always really good with the diet, but I spent a lot of time trying to understand what I wasn't doing as far as the releasing, like the stretching, like the being long enough, like so that I wouldn't have that issue. And this is one of the things that I learned as far as not the stretching portion of it, obviously, because this is an exercise, but the activation of muscle groups that I wasn't activating enough to avoid having that pain and dealing with that injury. And now since doing the stretches, so it's not just one thing that I did, it's a whole host of things that I did to fix it. Because a lot of people ask me, how'd you fix it? Because I made an Instagram story. It's about identifying like where the root cause is. And for me, it was stretching, not stretching enough, not being loose enough, and then not engaging and warming up properly into certain exercises, and then causing like an overuse of certain muscle groups above others, and creating that tension tighter and tighter and tighter, so that when I started to do anything, it was not enough room, right? Not enough length. I don't know how else to describe it, but then it would create the pain. So it's about identifying where are you lacking on that whole chain. Like, are you drinking enough water? Are you eating right? Getting the right type of anti-inflammatories in your diet, fish oil, curcumin, boswellia, all these things. Are you doing these things that are going to help you avoid the inflammation where it needs to be avoided? Are you stretching properly? Are you being loose enough? Are you lengthening the muscle instead of just tight all the time, right? And then are you doing the exercises that are engaging muscle groups where you lack, that are going to cause injury or cause pain in the future? Yeah. And I kind of just went off on a tangent on that, but you got to identify where it is you're really lacking, and also like, are you looking at the right pieces? So this is just something that I learned that is really good for engaging and activating the upper back, the shoulder, all those little tiny intricate muscles in there, instead of just like going and pressing and all front delt. For me, that's what it was, all front delt. So I lacked the stability of my, like I can press here no problem, but the minute I started to do this, The minute I started to bring it back and engage these muscles, they weren't firing enough. And you need that. You gotta be complete. We're all about being complete. Let's go.